but we're pleased to welcome into the bunker Derek Myers staying with us. Roger Alday, the great 4-4. How you doing, doggy?
I'm doing just fine, Roddy.
Good. Pull that mic in there real nice and close if you don't mind. What do you think about this place? All your buddies have been in here already?
Tell you what, it's very impressive. It's all you need, and I found the place quite easily. I wasn't quite sure, but my good wife, Joanne, had a map, everything, so I found it quite easy.
It's not hard to find.
You didn't get directions from Polly?
No, I don't listen to Bob. No, but the thing is, this place has grown up quite a bit out this area here, because I used to be right across the street down here on Henderson when I worked for Mack Truck. So, but it's changed.
I think we're trendsetters. When we started, we were in the middle of a field, and now we're in the middle of the city. Everything's sprung up around us.
Very nice, Rod.
Yeah. Raj, listen, the Leafs lost last night, 6 in a row, 4-2 in Vegas, and you said Ray Elgard is trolling you and talking trash.
Yes, he was. He sent me a text with a picture, and his season ticket is right behind the Maple Leaf bench, or right behind the Maple Leaf goal. So he figures there's going to be lots of action there. So I texted him back, and I said, "Go Leafs, go! What can I say?" And then I followed it. And the game was blacked out last night, so I didn't get it at home at the beach, but kept following it on the score, and then I found out they lost again. And I feel bad for the Leafs. Like Babcock, I really like him. I just hope, I don't imagine it's a whole lot of fun for him at the present time, what he's going through, but it's not the first time the Leafs have had trouble over the last few years, but hopefully
Raj,
they'll
I can see the pain.
pull it out.
I can see the pain in your eyes. And we walked around the lake this summer. Remember, you were so excited about this is the year. Remember?
What do you remember about the last Stanley Cup?
You know what? I was 13 years old at that time, Duke, and I don't remember a whole lot of it, but all I remember is back home on the farm where I born and raised, hockey was big. Hockey was big, and those days it was on one channel. If we got it, it was on CBC, CJFB, Channel 5, Swift Current, and my dad was a big Leaf fan, so that's kind of why I went on board with the Leafs, and a lot of guys, like cousins, were Montreal Canadian fans, and needless to say, we didn't get along that well when it come watching hockey. But my dad, he passed away here a few years ago, and he said, son, you're going to live to see the late Maple Leafs win another Stanley Cup. I said, geez, Dad, I sure hope so, but no, I'm telling that to my grandkids, so I'm not quite
You're getting worried, aren't you? Oh, man. Hey, to better topics then. Sorry, Raj, but I had to tell the world what a big Leaf fan you are, and I know you're struggling right along with them and all the other Leaf fans, but let's jump to this Grey Cup matchup of the Bombers and the Ticats. You actually had some funny stories about that because you said your neighbors in Mexico are all Winnipeg fans.
They are, and even last year, Roddy, when you were there for that Saskatchewan Day or Rough Rider, I had to bring a whole busload of them down there, and they tried to pretend they had fun, but I couldn't imagine this year if Winnipeg happens to win the Cup, it could be a little harassment for myself, but I'll just pretend I don't hear them, so you can block them out.
You've had the upper hand for 28 years. Could you give up one?
Absolutely, but you hate to do it as the way it is right now, because I still feel a few breaks here and there. The Rough Riders should be there, but we all
is that
do
right?
that, so that's football. I mean, when they talk about the Rough Riders and getting down to the goal line, and my years of playing, those crappy years, we've had many times where we'd get down to the goal line and then we'd run 3 plays and get stopped. And then after the game, why didn't you guys pass the game? You should have passed the ball. The defense was expecting you to run, and you guys ran right into the teeth of their defense, and you got stopped. So it's I guess like it was a Rough Riders game plan to pass the ball when they're down there. So but as an offensive lineman, you like to run the ball. But
are you one of these guys, Rider fans, that thinks the game came down to the ball hitting the upright? Because I've heard a lot of that in the last couple of days.
It should have been done before that. I mean, the way that was, like, they should have had chances to score. And, you know, give credit to Winnipeg. They got a great defense, and you know, you can't help but be happy for Claris. I mean, he's had some tough
Yes.
times here, and you can't help. I've had the pleasure of meeting him a few times, and he's a real nice gentleman, and I just, it's really hard not to cheer for him. Certainly wasn't cheering for him this weekend, but I mean, going forward, it'd be tough. And you know, Coach O'Shea, great guy. Had the pleasure of playing in a hockey tournament with him in Winnipeg at one time. We got together a few times, and he's a great guy. And of course, Richie there still running the defense. So I mean, and Patty Neufeld from the University of Saskatchewan Huskies.
Right.
He's done really well.
Regina guy.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Does some of your when you guys played? Obviously, one of the biggest rivalries was against Edmonton. It was easy to hate Edmonton. It was easy as a fan. It was probably easy as a player. Do those rooted kind of hatred of other teams, does that carry on in years past, or now do you kind of, as a fan of the team, not a player anymore, does some of your dislike or wanting to cheer against teams to win, is it more fandom, or is it more rooted in when you played?
Well,
Not that you want to cheer against
now
anybody,
we don't really. We're up in age here a little bit, but like last year, for example, the Grey Cup in Edmonton.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of being around some of the Eskimos, and you know, I really like them, but you know, but then you show them your one Grey Cup ring, and then they show your 5 or 6. So I just thinking, well, yeah. But you know, the thing is, the Rough Riders have one thing over them, and I believe, and I mentioned that to them last year, Grey Cup in Edmonton, and is the fact that the Edmonton Eskimos won all those Grey Cups, but I don't believe they've won one Grey Cup at home. So
We got 'em there.
We got
There
them
you
there. They may have a few more than us, but.
Well, here's the thing about Grey Cup weekend. Are you going?
Well, our plan was, but now I think it's my admin person. My wife said we're not going to go this year. We're going to rest up for next year's back here.
Yeah, we did have a great time in Edmonton. Remember, I found your jacket for you. You lost it. I've never seen you so panicked in your life. Well, your wallet was in it, so I can see why. But I know people seem very disappointed that we're not going. Some, in some cases, upset. But we can take 1 year off. 1 year off, and then next year, well, it's here, of course. And then we'll roll into Hamilton after that, and we can take 1 year off. But I know that it's going to be a lot of fun, and there may be some fights break out, like Joe Cap and Angelo Mosca. People don't get over stuff, and the reason I
8 years ago.
they don't
8 years ago.
get. How about 20 years ago, 30 years ago? How's my math? Because Rasevich and all these guys are bringing up that Randy Ambrosi missed his block in the '89 West Final on the forced fumble,
boy.
right, by Albright. And that Randy's still mad, and then he's got it against the Riders.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I had the individual that was ran that ball back for a touchdown. We had the pleasure of spending our weekend with him. And actually, poor Dave Albright, I took him to the plane yesterday for his 5 o'clock fly to Calgary in Los Angeles. But his plane got canceled for some reason. So I don't know if there's bad weather or whatever's going on. So he had to spend another night. And we talked about that play quite a bit with, not to go back 100 years, but Eddie Lowe hitting Tracy Ham, and then Dave picking it up. And then the commissioner thought he was going to catch him at that time, Randy Ambrosi. That was him chasing him, eh? After he missed his block. He tried to chase and catch Mr. Albright, but
didn't happen.
Big Dave deked him out and rumbled for a touchdown. And to me, that was, we didn't get lucky that game. That was a game we won them. We beat them, and that was the play that set it up for us to win.
Never gets tired talking about it, does it?
No, it doesn't. But we don't have that many to talk about. I mean.
That makes him so much greater when you tell the
Edmonton, they'd be
stories,
like,
Raj.
"Oh, which one are you talking about of our 5 in a row?"
I remember Dave Jameson, the longtime communications guy for the Edmonton Eskimos, coming here, and this would have been probably 10 years ago. It would have been the celebration back then for the '89 Grey Cup. I think it was then. And he said, "Boy, you guys sure celebrate these." He goes, "If we did this on every anniversary, we'd have one every year." He said, "Kind of goes back to, like you said, they like to let you know how many they won." But
absolutely. Absolutely,
Didn't
and
win
they
any at home.
should. They were a great team.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we had.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't a whole lot of fun going up there those time of the years because our chances were. I mean, every game we went to, in our mind, we're going to win, but it was tough.
You won the one that was important in '89.
They had Warren Moon and guys like that, and Dave Fennell, and they had great players, and Swamp Dog, Este, and it's just good teams. They had some great teams, and we were a little shaky.
You mentioned David Albright. This was the first time I understand that he's been in the new stadium.
Yes, sir.
What did he think?
He just loved it. I just wish I could have had an opportunity, but he would like to see like the dressing rooms and stuff like that to see that. But with the players leaving and stuff like that, now there's a lot of activity going on there as far as their last meetings and such. But he'll get an opportunity. He's already got plans. He's come for the Grey Cup next year.
Nice.
So, and he's a crazy tough linebacker, and we just had great stories and had a lot of fun, and I just wish he could have been up here for when the other guys
reunion?
were here, but it didn't work out for him. So he's teaching down there in California, and he's doing a good job, and he loves coming back to Saskatchewan because he just can still talk about the days of being here in Regina, and he just loved it.
Hey, on Grey Cup week, by the way, I can't remember what you said on the air and off. What's your pick? Do you have a pick? You basically said you don't want Winnipeg to win because they'll rub it in your face all winter. So,
well, I was listening to you guys before, and you guys that are on this all the time, you're not making your picks yet. So,
right.
I don't want to jinx somebody if I pick somebody. You
can change it right up to kickoff. That's the rule here.
I really don't care.
Okay, that works too.
I'm kind of all with the Rough Riders here, and I just I remember years ago when reporters used to phone. I used to be at work, and they say, "Hey, Roger, this is about the 10th or 11th year we're out of the playoffs. Who are you hoping for? Who's going to win this year?" Click. I don't quite care. So,
you hate them all.
not to be difficult, but after a while it gets. But I guess I can make an argument for either team. So I just hope it's a good day and a good game and all that good stuff and that kind of stuff.
You can see this being close and entertaining, though, can't you?
I think it should be.
Yeah, I do.
I think with the weather, it's supposed to be what? +2, is it? Or plus?
Oh, I saw -4 last I looked.
Either way.
Looks
not
like there's
bad.
a little
Not
snow in
bad.
Calgary there right now.
Yeah,
Because
it
it
looks
like,
perfect there now, actually, if you like that kind of thing, which
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that'll be good football weather and stuff like that. But I just hope that, it'll be a good game and we'll see what happens. And we're all proud Canadians and we're going to watch it.
There are a lot of reasons to cheer for Winnipeg, too. But sorry, Rod.
Absolutely. I mean, they've been out for quite a while. And, I always, like the guys I mentioned, I can't help but not cheer for them. And but in Hamilton, the year we played in '89, those guys were such great guys, and that we played against, and we knew those guys very well, and like the Mike Walkers and Mike Dirks and those guys, and we had a night before the Grey Cup in '89. Not it matters, but we like Mike Sambles. He's a radio. He does. Gets the money for the radio stations there, so he took some of us off.
Sales guy.
He took us to Hamilton, and we just went there for a couple hours just to have a little TV time and a little jingle and jangle with the guys. And it was there about 3 days before the game, and then they showed it the night before the Grey Cup, and people said, "Oh, you guys were at the bar the night before the game?" I said, "No, that was taped, and it was 3 days before." So
Pictures, yeah.
You're watching Rod Peterson On Demand. For more of The Rod Peterson Show, visit rodpeterson.com or follow Rod Peterson on social media.